get this water collected here. So with my hand, with the stopwatch in my hand, let me start. Wait for 1 minute. Okay, this gives me, just close this, and if I measure this, now it is indicating 800 ml. So 800 ml is, that means 0.8 liter. Okay, now the next we come for the temperatures. Now this is the time to take temperature. First is T1. T1 indicates the cold water inlet, just note it down. Then we don't have T2 for parallel flow because T2 indicates the cold water outlet temperature for counter flow. So remove that T2, then take T3, T3, T4, T5. That's it. Now it's time to take the counter flow readings. Just change the valve. We have to repeat the experiment. Close this, open, close, open. Okay, now as I have explained how the counter flow works, we will be taking the readings. Again, 1 LPM has been taken, cold water inlet, then hot water. Again we have to use the stopwatch, same thing, compass kept on, stopwatch in my hand, and placing this jar, you can see, placing this jar. Then what we do, switch on the stopwatch. Yes, wait for 1 minute, you will get the value. Yes, almost, if I check, it is 820 ml. Now it is indicating 0.82 liters. Now that's with that, the cold water and hot water. Again, the temperatures we have to take. T1, yes. Then T2 we need to take. This is the cold water outlet. Then T3 is not applicable for this because T3 indicates for the parallel flow. T4, yes, we have to consider T4, hot water inlet. T5, it is hot water outlet. So that's the conduction part. Now we will move on to the calculation part. Wait. So this is the tabular column. We have serial number, then type of flow, rate of cold water, hot water, other temperatures. As I told you, first we will be considering the parallel flow. For the parallel flow, we have considered 1 LPM as the cold water flow rate and 0.8 as the hot water flow rate. Then T1, T2, this is for counter flow, hence marked into. Then T3, this is cold water outlet. T4, hot water inlet, and hot water outlet. So first, let me look into the parallel flow calculations. LMTD stands for delta T1 minus delta T2, ln of delta T1 by delta T2. You know how to consider the delta T1 and T2. If I take this part, if I consider this for the parallel flow, the flow will be hot water. This is hot water or hot fluid if I consider, and this is of the cold fluid or cold water. So this is TCI, this is TC naught, THI and TH naught. This is delta T2 and this is the difference of this will be delta T1. This is what it has been shown, and this is for the parallel flow. We have studied this in our theory portion. So this is for the parallel flow. Parallel flow, we have to consider this as the THI, the inlet of hot water, TH naught outlet temperature of hot water, then TCI inlet temperature of cold water, outlet temperature of cold water. The difference between THI minus TCI will be considered as delta T1, and the difference between TH naught minus TC naught will be considered as delta T2. Using this, we will be finding LMTD. LMTD is equal to delta T1 minus delta T2 ln of delta T1 by delta T2. So if I substitute and calculate, I get delta T1 as 38.4 degrees Celsius, delta T2 as 14.6 degrees Celsius. So theta will be equal to Q will be equal to Q will be equal to M into CW into THI minus TH naught over 60. This is for conversion factor. So QH is equal to 552.68 watts. Now QC, this is for the hot water. H stands for hot water and C for the cold water. MC into CW TC naught minus TCI over 60. Again, if I substitute, then I get around 696.8. So Q is equal to QH plus QC by 2, average of these two. So this gives rise to 761.33 watt. So I also need to find the, as I have told earlier, one is we need to find the LMTD and the U, overall heat transfer coefficient. So Q by A into LMTD. I get U as 716.48 watt per meter square Kelvin. This is how we do. Next is for the counter flow. For counter flow, again the type of flow is counter, then flow rate of cold water is 1, then hot water flow rate is 0.8 LPM, temperature T1 inlet cold water, that is 39.6, then 53 will be the outlet cold water temperature. This T4, T3 we don't have since this is for the parallel flow, so hence it has been blocked. T4 it is the inlet hot water temperature 75.2, and T5 it is the outlet water temperature, hot water temperature 65.1. So using this we will be finding. Again we need to look at the graph here. There is a difference. See, we have this for the counter flow. The graph goes like this. This is if I consider this as the hot water, this will be hot water inlet and temperature at the hot water outlet. This is temperature of cold water inlet and this is the temperature of cold water outlet. Now again I call it as delta T2 and this is delta T1. Now the difference is previously delta T1 was defined as in this case it was defined as THI minus TCI, whereas now delta T1 is defined as THI minus TC naught. You should note these differences. Then delta T2 is equal to previous case, that was in parallel flow. We had written this is delta TH naught minus TC naught, and here delta T2 is considered as TH naught minus TCI. This is the condition. You have to note these two differences for this. Now the LMTD for the counter flow, LMTD is given by delta T1 minus delta T2 by ln of delta T1 by delta T2. So delta T1 22.2 I have got, T2 it is 25.5 degrees Celsius. So finally LMTD we get as 23.81. And you can see that the difference of LMTD. Okay. Now QH is equal to MH into CW THI minus TH naught by 60. So QH is equal to 563.84 watts. Then QC is equal to MC into CW or delta TC, that is TC naught minus TCI by 60. So we get QC as 935.09 watts. Q is equal to QH plus QC by 2, which is equal to 749.46 watts. Somewhere around 749.5 I can take. So UI is equal to Q by A into LMTD. So A we have known we know what is A, then find out UI. If I substitute, I get UI is equal to 726.79 watt per meter square Kelvin. This is how we calculate the LMTD and the overall heat transfer coefficient for parallel flow as well as the counter flow.